question marks have worn off in terms of whether you'd be part of this rotation, how important you'd be to this team. What have you learned from being in the NBA for these couple of weeks that now the grind starts and off you go to year number one?
Yeah, it's a different game. It's a lot more thinking the game, reading, reacting, and just playing free. I think just playing with a bunch of guys that I spent all summer with. I'm just trying to get a feel of how I can incorporate what I do as a player into the team and into winning basketball. And I feel like it just starts defensively for me. And being a big thing, Kenny and the guys have talked to me about just being that guy defensively and letting my offense come, and shots are going to fall at the end of the day.
You talked about it a little bit. Does your mindset change at all now than it had previously playing ball? I mean, is there anything you do differently now? It is the NBA. My approach is different. How?
I wouldn't say differently. I mean, it's definitely a next level to it. It's more intent. You got to understand who you're playing with on the floor. Similar to teams I've been on at Duke, just coming in every year. It's a new group, but I think it's just finding mismatches, just reading the game at a higher level.
Thanks, Tim.
When you talk about the translation process of your game, obviously the shots can fall somewhere. What other part of your game do you think has translated already to be able to get minutes on the floor?
I think my playmaking, as well as my defense. I mean, I came into Duke not really known for my defense whatsoever. Was always on the worst defender kind of thing growing up in high school. But as I've gotten older, just realizing the importance of it, and I think it's a mindset thing. Just being able to hold your own on the court, and like I said, just translating that to my offensive end. Being able to push the ball as quick as I can, get into the scoring zone, and just play my game, find my teammates when I'm open, and just being able to knock the open shot down.
Do you feel like that's the area where you can learn to grow the most on the defensive end, or is there another area that you're working on more?
I feel like my game overall, just sharpening up everything. Like I said, it's the next level to everything you're doing. Whether it's the time you get to take your shots, the windows are a lot smaller. Obviously, there's more space, so decision making can be you have a little bit of leeway there, but everything's just so quick. So I think just reading and reacting, just getting better with that.
Do you think that how you were labeled as a defensive player was fair?
In terms of?
You said you were labeled as one person.
Oh yeah, no, I knew I was bad. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I played no defense when I was younger. But like I said, as I got older, first thing Coach Shire said to me when I got to Duke was, you're not going to be able to play on the floor if you can't play defense. So I think that's a challenge that I took, and then just grew and worked at it every summer.
Can you talk about that aspect on the defensive end, especially rotation players like you, Craig, Jalen Tyson? Like, how important is that element to your game, and how has he kind of pushed that team since you got here?
Yeah, it's been huge. It's what's going to win us games. Just coming in, being that spark off the bench. Just being able to keep the intensity as it is, if not, push it higher, and just get after, the opposing guards, and just tire them out. Starters come out, and that's when we come in and just ramp up the intensity, and keep that pressure and that sort of firepower pushing forward.
Now that you're a couple weeks into it, the NBA schedule been what you've been expecting? Obviously you guys had 3 and 4 different cities last week, and there's all these games coming quickly compared to college.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been crazy. That first little road trip, 3 and 4, got back in. Was happy to be back in Cleveland for a couple of days just to relax, but I mean, the season's here now, so we've got to get used to it.
All right, thank you.